All right, welcome everybody to episode number 4. We're doing a lot of these now, of the Sayreville Police Community First podcast. We have a very special guest today that I'm very happy to have with us. I can't wait for everyone to meet him. It's the new business administrator in Sayreville. It's Glenn Skarzynski. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Let me say welcome back, I should say. For those of you who don't know, Glenn retired from the police department in
2016
as the captain of the patrol division. He was my boss. I followed him around for many years through the ranks, and it's a pleasure to have him back and see his smiling face again.
My face for radio.
Yes, me too, buddy. Me too. So we're happy to have him back. A little bit about Glenn. He has been the business administrator since...
right before Christmas.
Right before Christmas, okay. And Glenn has a master's degree in public administration from Centenary University. Prior to being back in the borough employ, he was the business administrator in South Amboy, where he was integral in ushering in sort of the renaissance of the waterfront, if you will, or at least that's my interpretation.
High compliment. I was a part of it. I don't take all the credit. I mean, a lot of good collaborative partners over there in the city of South Amboy.
They're doing a great job, and we're happy to have you back here and bring some of that mojo with you and keep it going. So
it's good to be back.
So welcome. This podcast is sort of about, letting people know what's going on in the department, what's going on in the town. So thank you for coming in, and I'm sure you have deep insights into a lot of things that I don't. And so what do you think the residents need to know? Like, what's happening in town?
Well, listen, I think the important thing is to have an official word coming out of 167 Main Street. In the absence of good information, people tend to make things up to fill the void.
Sure, that vacuum,
and we don't want to have that happen because, the big push by the governing body is transparency and engagement of the citizens. So, as their employee, okay, that's what you want. That's what you're going to get. So, I decided to reach out to you and see if we can't do this periodically to get good information out to the people that we serve. Because ultimately, whether you're in the police department or DPW or the water department, we're here to serve the constituents, and that's what we try to do to the best of our ability. So I'm happy to say today that yesterday at about 3 o'clock, we rolled out the new version of our borough website.
Okay.
Which will be welcome to people that wear reading glasses, such as myself. I mean, anybody that visited, it was great for its time, but over time it kind of developed more into a phone book, and it was very hard to read and to locate items. So over the course of the last year, our IT manager, Tom Bracken, and Julie Velez, our media person, really worked to put a good framework together that's colorful, and it's easy to navigate, and it should help us engage with more depth to people that need an interface with the borough. Because at the end of the day, most of us work 8 to 4 or 9 to 5. Getting to Borough Hall during business hours is difficult. So the more services that we can roll out via the web is going to benefit them, and it's going to benefit us and make us do our job that much better.
That's awesome. That sounds really good.
And it looks pretty good.
I'm going to tell you, I frequently use the borough's website, and it is difficult to navigate. It was.
But now there's more. I mean, right now we're working on, our goal is between now and the end of the year to roll out any conceivable form that the borough has,
really?
Whether it's for construction or for an event permit, anything of that nature will be available as a fillable form on the website. And once you're done, you'll be able to click submit, and it'll get emailed to the proper department to be handled.
Wow.
Which is pretty huge for us.
Yeah, that's awesome. It would have been nice to have that prior to COVID, so we had less contact with people.
We are playing a little bit.
We're learning some lessons. Yeah.
Listen, hard lessons are the ones that stick with you throughout life. So we're working on that. I mean, we've actually rolled out, we did a soft rollout, but on the website now there's a portal for the construction office. So anything related to construction or zoning can be entered into the form on the computer, and it goes immediately to the department for action. Moving forward, the way the software works, you'll actually be able to track progress of different applications. Wow. Okay, your inspection is scheduled for Thursday at 1 o'clock, and Sam will be the person coming out to inspect your footings and foundations and stuff. So we're making really big leaps in that regard, and we've got a couple more things coming up behind that are going to actually, it's a lot of back-end stuff, but it's going to just make it easier to integrate and to interact with the borough. And we think that's going to be really huge for us.
Yeah, I think it's high time for that, right?
It is.
I remember we had a T-shirt made years ago, and I remember it was the Sarah Fisher Borough of Sayreville or something, successfully resisting change. Well, I guess that's changing under your watch. We're not resisting it anymore, embracing it.
Listen, I'm only the eye candy at the front of the house here. I've got a lot of great people that work in Borough Hall, here at PD, the unsung heroes of Sayreville. I mean, they really deliver for our residents, and we just want to make that process easier. And the more we can serve, the better it reflects on our town.
Awesome. I love it. I'm excited to play with it. I can't wait. So there was something else that we were talking about, something that was new to the town. Not necessarily new, but something with the language lines that we use at the police department.
Yeah, sometimes you have tools. You go to Home Depot and you'll buy a tool to do a job, and you forget that it's sitting in a bin somewhere in your garage. So one day I have to sign the POs twice a month when they come in, and there was one for the language line service, which I knew from working here that we used in court and periodically with the police department. So it occurred to me, we have a fair amount of our population who don't have good English language skills. It's not their primary language. And we would run into some difficulty with people trying to engage us, and it just occurred to me, well, if we're paying for this already, why don't we roll it out on a more robust fashion? So beginning Monday, pretty much any place where you get counter service in the Borough Hall, and if you have difficulty or you're not comfortable with English as a primary language, there'll be a poster, and you'll be able to point at the language in which you are most comfortable to communicate. Our staff will set up a 3-way phone call with this vendor, and there'll be a live 3-way conversation going on at that point. Look, we're welcoming. We embrace everybody in this town, and we want to roll out the welcome carpet for everybody. I remember my mom years ago telling me about my great-grandmother. She used to have to take the bus back and forth from Sayreville to New Brunswick. She couldn't pronounce Sayreville. I mean, her primary language was Polish, so, she'd tell the driver, Sayreville, and I just think back at how cool it would have been for her to be able to just have a more meaningful interaction with the local government or other people. And so we think that's kind of a cool thing, and we want to roll out the red carpet.
And you did this by incorporating something we were already paying for.
Yeah, it cost us no more than we were paying for it already. It's just using it to its fullest extent. So
that's one of the things we focus on here is, like, what can we do that's better and different and not cost the taxpayer a dollar.
You'll recall our good friend, Lieutenant Bob Mannion, who was famous for saying, you cannot make chicken soup out of chicken feathers. Well, you know what? I think we've come up with a recipe, so a little bit of a workaround there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome. I'm excited. I'm excited that things are changing. I'm excited that, the new generation and well, maybe not the new generation, but the new generation's toys are being
I'm a little bit short of fossil fuel at this stage of life.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, you were always embracing of new technologies and
you have
things
to change.
like that.
You have to go with the times to the extent that you can. But listen, I want to thank you for inviting me in. I look forward to doing more of these. There's a lot going on in town, and it's very important. It's very critical that the folks out there who are either going to benefit from it or require an explanation have that, and then it's coming from us and not from the dark corners of social media. I mean, at the end of the day, we're going to give you, or I'm going to endeavor to give you the most accurate information as to what's going on, what projects we're working on, progress that we've made, just so people know. And look, to a person on that dais at council meetings, the mayor, the entire council, they want us to engage. They want us to improve our communications with the community. And while I'm here, we're going to do that. So,
all right.
Thanks for having me. And I look forward to this. I feel like Howard Stern or something here in the studio. This is really not something in my wildest imagination I could have envisioned when I was still here. And kudos to you and your staff for bringing this together, because this is first class.
I'll tell you, there was no class in the academy for this.
No.
There was no training. In between push-ups and running, they didn't say, hey, get your podcast voice ready.
Wow.
So this is all new to us, but we're trying to embrace it and do the same thing, reach out to everybody. So thank you for coming. I look forward to doing more of this with you in the future, and good things. So to the people of Sayreville, I have one. This is my catchphrase that I kind of came up with at the end. I just like to remind everybody that they are the reason that Sayreville is special. It's them.
They are, and we're here. We work for them, and
right.
We don't ever want to lose sight of that. We want a high level of service. We want good engagement. We want friendly customer service, and that's our watchword, and that's what we're going to deliver.
Awesome, and we're here. We're doing it. So this is the start. To everybody, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can continue to get this information in a timely manner rather than have to wait for somebody to send it to you. So join us. Charlie, are you ready to say it?
I think you already did.
I did. I took Charlie's line. I'm sorry, buddy. Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, thank you, everyone, for paying attention and watching this video. Thank you, Glenn, for coming in. I'm excited to have you here, and until next time we meet.
Jim, thanks very much. I appreciate it.